Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. Today we have Sideshow Collectibles Brotherhood of Arms line, which features the American Civil War 12-inch U.S. Infantry Officer from the Army of the Potomac. So, let's get started. This figure captures the look and spirit of the Union Army during one of the most defining moments in American history, the Civil War. Released in the early 2000s, this highly detailed figure features Civil War era gear, a hand-painted head sculpt, and a tailored Union officer uniform, complete with the officer's sword, belt, kepi, and sidearm. So let's go ahead and take a look at this packaging. So first of all, you have the seal here, American Civil War Brotherhood of Arms, American Civil War Brotherhood of Arms 12-inch collection, U.S. Infantry Officer, Army of the Potomac 12-inch figure, Sideshow Collectibles for ages 14 and up. And here's an image showing the American flag or the Union flag. The officer has his sword out. There's his kepi, right? And just take a look at him there. Let's take a look at the side. There you get to see. Very nice, right? Very nice. Again, the top is, I think it's the same on all the figures. You have this image. And it's the same here, right? Right here, and then the back, right? Just take a look at that guy. Just take a look at that. Great looking figure, right? American Civil War, 1861 to 1865, U.S. Infantry Officer. And it's got a back picture of the figure. And let me zoom in on this part here, right? And if you care to, you can pause it and read it. But there it is, right? Let's go ahead and also open him up from the front here, right? And again, we have this part here, right? And I can zoom in on this part here. And let's zoom in on it a little more. There it is. I don't know how good you can see that, but I'm going to scroll down. Let me see if I can get it in a little more. Right there. And you can pause it and read up on it if you want. I'm sure this is available online as well. And then it's got issued equipment down here. If you want to go ahead and take a gander at that as well. You know, it's got the forage cap, the U.S. Junior Officer frock coat with shoulder boards, dark blue federal trousers, the boots, the civilian shirt, U.S. saber belt and officer buckle, the officer sash, the 1850-foot officer sword, the cap pouch, 58 Army Remington, the holster, and the officer haversack. And here he is right here. Here he is right there. Let's go ahead and open him up. There he is. Let's go ahead. He's gotten loose. Now I am noticing that I haven't opened this figure. So unless somebody opened it, I got this years ago. And I don't even remember where I picked it up, but he should have an extra hand right there, and there's no extra hand in here. So if it's missing, no big loss. I'll find one, but that's one thing that he's missing. Stuff has been moved around. Unless it's in there loose, I don't know, but let's go ahead and pop him open and take a look at the figure. I went ahead and pulled him out of the clamshell packaging here, and let's take a look at the revolver. Here's the first thing we're going to look at. Just take a look at that. Very cool. I'll pull him up here and you can see his holster is right in here. And I will slip it into there, and then this button's here. And I'll button it here in a minute. And let's see here if it does it for me. I think so. Well, it didn't. So here is his sword, right? Get to see some of the markings on it, right? Look at that. Very cool. The sheath. And it hangs right here, like that. Right. Pull it in there. Right. Okay. The officer's sash right there. This goes a little out this way. And the sack is right here. This locks in here, like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here it is, right there. And here's his buckle and his belt. Let's take a look at that. There's that real nice sash, right? Just take a look at his, let's go over here and look at his boots. Man, he's got the coolest boots I've seen on a figure in a while. It's got spurs right here. Just take a look at the wear on these boots. Very nice. Very cool, right? There's his uniform, the buttons, the rank right here, the insignias right there, right? He's got buttons on his sleeves, the stripe, right? Let's look at the back. It's got here, right? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at his pouch here. Hat pouch right here. Just a little cloth bag. There's his hat. Right. Very cool. Very cool. Let's take a look at his articulation. Look at his hands. Right. And here's the other hand, right? Got a little bit of flexibility, right? He does have some articulation in the hands. Let's look at the arms, right? Right. Right, uniform makes him a little stiff, but then that is pretty good, right? Head. Just take a look at that. Look at that mustache. Wow. Pretty intense looking dude here. Yep. Got back articulation forward, side to side, right? You can turn him around. And let's take a look at his waist, right? Legs. As far as the pants will take him, you know. And here it is, right? Pretty cool. Let me go ahead and get him going and so we can take a better look at him. The attention to realism is what makes the Brotherhood of Arms series stand out. From the intricate stitching to the historically accurate insignia, this figure is a museum quality representation of the men who served in the Army of the Potomac. The Army of the Potomac was the principal Union army in the Eastern Theater of the Civil War, fighting in legendary battles such as Gettysburg, Antietam, and Fredericksburg. This sideshow figure pays homage to those officers who led troops into history. This set again includes officer's sword and scabbard, revolver and holster, belt and pouches, Union officer's cap. The articulation allows for dynamic posing, perfect for dioramas and historical displays. Whether you're a longtime sideshow collector or a Civil War enthusiast, the U.S. Infantry Officer Army of the Potomac is a must-have piece that represents craftsmanship, history, and pride. Let's go ahead and compare this figure to a couple of the other figures that I have. I just recently did a video on this guy here, which is the U.S. or the second U.S. Burden sharpshooter right here in the green. This is a Soldiers of the World Union general, I believe. And this is a Confederate, I think might be a general as well. Just look at the boots on him. I need to get him some better looking boots. But yeah, this is how he scales and how he compares with some of the other Civil War figures that I have readily available. So here he is for comparison purposes. That's all I have for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more collectible figure showcases, unboxings, and reviews. So, let me know, what do you think? Do you have this one figure, or do you have any of the other Brotherhood of Arms figures? What do you think? I've had them sitting for a while, and I decided to go ahead and pop them open so that I can display them. I'm going to try and create a little Civil War section in my collection. And I figured, I'll pull these figures out and little by little and just start showcasing them here. Either way, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd invite you to do so. It's free and it doesn't cost you anything. And it really helps the channel to continue to grow. And while you're at it, turn on notifications to receive notice of future upcoming videos. If you can drop me a comment, what do you think of this figure? Let me know. This is the U.S. Infantry Officer, Army of the Potomac, 12-inch figure. So let's add to the action with Action Joe Figs.